James Lester, CW04. I asked him, could you get me a set of orders? He says, yeah, I'll send you to a new submarine tender in Norfolk, the USS Spear. So we went ahead and came back on active duty, and from then on we stayed in. And from the Spear, that was she was 2 years old. She was a new sub tender. We had it was different because when I was on the Vulcan, I was second class, but when I went to the Spear, like I said, it was a new ship. We had air conditioning, berthing. On the Vulcan, we didn't have anything like that. It was just so much different, and I was first class too, and that made a significant difference. So we got on there, and then we started doing work on fast attack submarines. We was working, all the time. It was just seemed like they were always having things go bad. We needed a fix. It was machine shop was constantly busy. A tender generally stays in port, and the ships come to the tender, and we fix things. And that was the way we were doing. And then we had a squadron of boats, submarines, and we just kept them so that they could go to sea. And between us and the shipyard, sometimes the shipyard would get involved in the really highly technical stuff. But we were doing a lot of work, a lot of even nuclear work, because the subs that we had were all nuclear. They had I got aboard in May of '72, and they had just decommed the last diesel boat. Just before I got there, they decommed the last diesel boat. So everything that we had at that time was all nuclear. And still, we don't have any diesel boats anymore like we used to have. But everything is diesel now. And then we spent 5 years on the Spear, very, very busy, just always, and had some great friends that we made. In fact, we still stay in touch with some of them. The machine shop was always busy. We were in 6 sections, so every 6th day you had a duty. Shirley and I was living out in town, and we had I shipped over in '74, so we bought our first house in Norfolk, and then we were living there until we got transferred to Charleston in '77, and then spent 2 years in Charleston at SEMA, and very busy down there, but we were just working on ships. We were not working on submarines at that time. And it just so happened that I was also working part-time in a little shipyard in Charleston. And the ships that we were working on at SEMA during the day, that's the ships we were working on at the little shop I was working at night. So you always knew who was going to sea, who was fixing to deploy, because that's what you was really working on, trying to get them ready to go to sea. And we spent 2 years in Charleston, very historic place. Got to do some sightseeing while we were in Charleston. It was a pretty place, but I always liked Norfolk more than I did Charleston. In fact, anywhere.